All right, here's how to do a basic podcast setup at Ivy Tech. Check it out. So here's the control room, ISO booth number 1, and we have our TV switcher, and we have our audio. Here's our recorder, which records our SD cards. Here is our computer. Here is one monitor that you can view the multi-view from the TV switcher, or you can use it as a monitor for the computer. This one here allows you to view the multi-view as well. So now, it's very important that you turn the system on in the proper order. You can turn the computer on first by pressing this little power button on the bottom. Next, you want to turn the QU24 on, all right? So that is done with a little button here in the back, and you just put your finger down all the way and you'll find it. It's a little nub about the size of a pencil eraser. Click it on, wait, and it should glitch in, and then turn on. The next thing you want to turn on is in tandem, these are both selected onto the same surge protector. They do not have on and off buttons because in a TV truck, they typically turn off and on when the truck turns off and on. But here, we just have them set up with a surge protector. So, now the whole thing should turn on. The speakers turn on is the surge protector down here on the bottom, okay? So if you want to use this TV up right here as the multi-view, then you're going to take this HDMI cable that I have sitting here, pull the HDMI cable out from the computer, and then go ahead and plug this one in. And then your multi-view will appear onto this TV. All right, so here is how to do a general operation of the Blackmagic switcher, the HyperDesk Mini, and the multi-view setup here. All right, so on your multi-view, you're gonna have 1, 2, 3, 4, however many cameras you have inputted into the back of the board. To select each of those cameras in preview mode, this is your preview, this is what you see on the screen, and this is your program. That's what's going to tape. That's what the folks see at home. On the top row, you have your program switches. If I'm swapping here, then that means it's on air. People at home are seeing this. If I'm swapping here, this is just you who's seeing it, okay? So, the way that I would do a podcast is I would have FTB on, and that just means fade to black, so your program is off right here. Then I would select in preview the first person who's going to talk. I would enable their mic by pressing this on button right here. And you can tell that the mic is on because you'll see the little audio levels on the side bouncing, right? So when I want to bring them in, I would do FTB, and then they come on. And when I want to swap around, I could either do hard cuts by swapping these. Say, for example, somebody just interjects really quick. I'd be like, bam, all right, there they come in. If I wanted to do kind of a slower fade, I would just do it manually right here. So you would get your preview set up to a different one. So this is the other person. And I would just bring my fader and I would slowly do a dissolve fade. Any of these fades right here are available. So these are called transitions, and you could click right here and it would do a circle. Say, for example, I wanted to go to camera 3. Then I would select camera 3 here in my preview. And then let's do a barn door. Push. Select it here. And now let's use the fader to move it over. These things can be quite tacky, so I would stick to mixes and cuts. This right here is allowing you to do it manually, the transition. And this right here will do an auto transition for you. See that? To a predetermined side, okay? A cut is just a quick switch, so it's fast. It's the same as doing it here, right? Now when you're ready to start recording, make sure your mics are all enabled. If you need more level from somebody, you can adjust these levels here, 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 and here. When you're ready to start recording, pop an SD card into a slot, right? So you're going to want to take an SD card, make sure that the lock is in the off position, put it in, make sure it clicks, and the light will go green. If it turns yellow, that means it needs to be formatted. The way you format it is by going Menu, click Set, bring the toggle wheel down to Format Card, Set, and select which SD card is going to be formatted. And allow it to format. When it goes green, that means it's ready to be recorded onto. And whenever you're ready to stop your podcast, go ahead and FTB it black, nice black transition, and then click the stop button. It'll stay red until it's done rendering the footage onto the drive. Don't take the drive out while it's red, okay? Now, what's cool about this is you can actually record indefinitely because you can hot swap cards. So this position will automatically start recording onto the next card once it's full, okay? See how the red light has gone off now? Now I can push in, open it up, plug this right into an SD card port on a computer, and it'll come right up labeled HyperDesk Mini 1, 2, 3, or 4, or however many clips you've recorded. Okay? So now let me bring you to the headphones. You have TalkBack, which if you want your people to hear you, you can click this button in and you can talk to them real quick. You can say, hey, stop picking your nose. Right here is the headphone levels for each of the rooms. We've got the control room, which is this. That's your monitoring level. So if you wanted to hear them, you would turn up this knob here on the end. It says level, okay? Number 2 is the live room. It's this one right here. It's where we have this camera mic set up.
The red paint.
The red paint. ISO booth A is on your perspective left. The one in the back there.
That left one, not the
left
right
one
one,
here.
but this left one here.
And ISO booth B is on channel 4. That's this one here. So here's the 2 isolation booths, as well as the program, which is the red one in there, okay? So if somebody can't hear themselves or their headphones are too loud, you would always change this level dial here.
The one above the hole.
The one above the hole. Sometimes there's an interesting headphone thing that happens, is when people are listening to their own voice played back to them, they hear their voice in the room and in the headphones, and they think they're not hearing it in the headphones. All right? So you may want to be careful with that. Sometimes you turn the headphone volume all the way up, and the person's like, I still don't hear myself, but they're screaming at you. So if you want to listen in to what the person is hearing to verify that they're maybe not hearing themselves or they are, just go ahead and plug in to one of these units. So now I can listen to what channel 1, the control room, is listening to. Now I can listen to channel 2, the live room, and so forth. ISO booth A, ISO booth B. I find it very helpful to listen in to what people are listening to in their headphones so that I can verify that all the levels are correct. All right? For your own playback, channel 1 is duplicated to channel 1 on the board. If you want to listen to what's happening, you turn this fader up, and then here's your master fader. So you have channel 1 going into the master. The podcaster would come in, take a seat, pop on their headphones, and they would be ready to go. And theoretically, if everything's working, they should hear ISO booth 1 or A, ISO booth 2 or ISO booth B. Interchangeable names, all right? So now let me talk to you about how the cameras work. Here's how you turn them on. On the side button right here, there is a little switch, okay? When you're ready, push it on, right? And it should come right up. You have 3 different ways of doing zoom. So if you look in here, look at this viewfinder, you can see that I'm zooming in and out, right? And the way that I'm doing that is just this knob right here, okay? If you had somebody operating the camera, which you probably won't because of coronavirus, you can adjust these dial right here to go left and right, or you can adjust this dial on the side here to go up and down to adjust your framing, right? So you shouldn't have any other issues with the camera in terms of video. Now let me show you the audio portion of the camera. So if you look here on the side, see this little tab right here? This tab pops out and comes down and allows you to see what's happening in the audio world. All right. So in input 1, we have this microphone run along this XLR cable plugged into input 1. Right? So that is going to input 1. These mics require phantom power, so you want to make sure it's selected at plus 48 volts. It's set to external mics, and the mic gain is set somewhere around the middle. Okay? If you're not getting enough level from the mics, you can go ahead and turn this dial up. But 5 should be okay. Let me go ahead and reset this camera angle back to where it was. When I'm done with the camera, all I have to do is click this little slider switch on the side and it will turn right off. So we have another 2 cameras, 1 and 2, each shooting like this into the isolation booth. If somebody is sitting here and here, there's a nice triangle so that they're able to view each other and the person here. So let's go take a deeper look into the isolation booth. And remember, you can close the doors to get better sound isolation. Unfortunately, you will hear noise from the air conditioner, the water heater, and cars outside. So those kind of things are just, you can't really ameliorate those. So here is ISO booth number 2. So once again, same drill. Pop on the headphones. Take a seat into the chair, get comfortable, and start talking away, and you should be good to go. So check out these lights right here. So they plug in with power cord, like so. The batteries
Yeah, just plugs right into the wall.
rugs in with a regular plug. What's irritating about these lights is that the weight of this transformer needs to go all the way down to the bottom of the ground because you don't want to put too much strain on the input. Sometimes I'll wrap the cable up through the top of this so that the transformer is not as weighed down. So to turn the light on, this is the off position, which is in the middle. Off position is middle. Here is battery power. And the same batteries that are used in the cameras are...
Compatible with those, yeah.
Yes, sir. So right here is where I would turn it on for wall power, okay? So you'll see that it turns on. Here is white light, fully white. So this is fully white light, full, and this is full yellow light, okay? And what you want is a blend, depending on the person's skin color and skin tone and the kind of matte that you're looking for, it would be a blend between these two, right?
Those are just those little dials in the back
Little
right
dials here on the back. Okay. So to turn it off, once again, it's in the off position. And if you want a more direct focused light, you can use the dog ears to close it up or open it wider.
there. There's also some plastic that slides into the side here and gets for better diffusion. They're located in the studio.
Exactly. Okie dokie. Here are where the items are that you may need to record with. So in this box right here, you've got SD cards, spare SD cards. You've got thumb drives to transfer footage to different computers, okay? This box right here there's more microphones, as well as a little baggie of 1/8 inch to micro headphone adapters. All right? All the headphones will require these, and sometimes some work better than others. And if you're getting little like crackling noises, you may want to swap these out. Okay? If you want another mic, you just need to pop in an XLR cable into the back and plug it into one of the XLR ports onto the camera. Okay? So the camera that is being held right now is the fourth camera in the system, and that will go onto this tripod, which can be wheeled around. So once you want to plug it in, you take this SDI cable and plug it into the back of this camera. You'll notice that it appears directly onto the TV. And now you've unlocked the coolest thing in video operation.
Oh yeah, it's the Infinity.
It's the Infinity
Check
Loop.
this out.
Oh yeah.
What is going on
Let
right
me actually show you real quick where the rest of the cables are. Alright, so here's where we store all the cables. So we've got the headphones right here. We've got XLR cables here. Down to the bottom you have more adapters for the cameras and holders. High-Z cables for guitars. XLR cables for microphones. HDMI cables for monitors and TVs. And then D plugs for all of the rest of the audio gear. And this is just miscellaneous cabling here. Alright, so now I just need to show you how to turn everything off. So all it is turning everything on again, but in reverse order. So the first thing you want to do is turn your speakers off by clicking this button down here. They will power off after a specified period of time, about 3 to 4 seconds. Then you want to turn your TV board off, which is, if you'll remember from the beginning, this board here, surge protector. Then you'll turn your board off. And this one is a little bit silly. Check it out, you gotta go here. See this button right here? And you'll notice that there is a shutdown sequence. So you just hit home, click the little red shutdown button, say yes, it'll shut down, and now you can click the little toggle on the back. Right? So that's it.